Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. My apologies for the horrible quality in some of my recent videos. As you all know, I have been in the middle of moving myself here. I do plan to move my business to Texas by January of 2023 into the new building that we have situated here. And this is a process that's been taking me quite a bit of time. I am finally no longer doing videos from either a friend's place or a motel. This is indeed my house. Well, I guess not really my house, but a house that I lease, which is closer to my house than anything else. I do not have my video equipment, my chair, my speakers, my real computer, my camera, my microphone. All I have is my Framework laptop and my traveling mic setup that I use for bike videos. Literally the only thing that I have in this place that is mine is a shitty Spectrum modem and router and a pillow, which I use to sleep on the floor until I get the rest of my stuff. But there is something, again, even just having a pillow to sleep on the floor that is nice, sleeping in Texas, that is better than sleeping on a $2,000 bed in my old apartment in Brooklyn. Now, what I'd like to go into here in today's video is the Onewheel electric skateboard. This company actually did something right, and while we do give a lot of these companies that are against right to repair and against you being able to fix your own stuff, we give them a lot of shit for the things they do wrong. I think it is also important to give them some props for the things they do right, even if it does come late. The Onewheel electric skateboard is a product that I have had no shortage of criticisms for. I pointed out in this video, they have a device where when you unplug the battery in a certain way, it will wind up bricking it, and the only way that you can get it fixed is to go back to the manufacturer, who, by the way, does not sell the battery. Again, lithium-ion battery is a wear part. It guaranteed will go out on these devices at some point in time, regardless of how nice you are to it. So it's really important to be able to get them fixed outside the manufacturer. That's not something that they offer, which I think is pretty crappy. They also have an issue with something called ghosting. Ghosting is when the device will continue accelerating after you dismount it, and you can imagine how this could be bad for people that are around it. So if you have an electric skateboard and you decide to get off of the electric skateboard, you jump off, and your little electric skateboard just shoots off at 15 or 20 miles an hour, that it can be really, really bad to innocent bystanders. They also have not exactly, in my opinion, used the best of components for their charging circuitry. This is the Onewheel Pint. This is supposed to be charging the battery, and this literally looks like a laptop fan connector to me. I've spoken with experts in the channel like Mario Contino and Josh Haley, and you can see their interviews. I will link them all down below. Now, they did finally decide to acknowledge and take accountability and responsibility for one of the issues with these products, which is the fact that it ghosts. So this is a recall safety notice. Future Motion has announced a voluntary safety recall of the front foot pad for the Onewheel GT. The foot pad can fail to disengage after the rider is dismounted while the board is in motion, and the Onewheel can unexpectedly continue to operate. I like the word choice there. It's continue to accelerate, because that's what it does. It accelerates into the person that it winds up hitting. And there are documented cases of this happening both on Reddit and Facebook, where somebody dismounted the electric skateboard and it just kept going. This is something that was always kind of an issue, but it really is much more prevalent with the GT than with all the old models combined, from what I read on the internet. And this is something that they've kind of been radio silent on for a while until now. But yeah, it's not about it operating, it's about it accelerating. But that's a small, minor thing to be bothered by with the language here. And posing an injury hazard to bystanders, consumers can contact Future Motion to determine whether their foot pad is included in this recall and receive a free replacement front foot pad, including free shipping and installation instructions. Visit recall.onewheel.com or call them, and so on and so forth. Consumers should stop using the GT with recalled foot pads until they have replacement foot pads. And they also announced this on their social media platforms over here, on this Onewheel social media platform. So they are indeed trying to get, not just sweep it under the rug like a certain fruit company does from time to time when they announce their warranty recalls in a hidden section of their site. They are actually putting it out there front and center. I have given them a lot of crap for the Onewheel Pint's horrible charge port, for them being as anti-right to repair as they are, for them not allowing normal people to service the battery, for them not allowing the shops that sell these devices to work on them, for them blocking people like Josh Haley at every turn from being able to get what they need to be able to provide quality service to customers. But in this case, they did do something good. They took accountability and responsibility for an issue with their product, meaning that somebody there made a decision where they were deciding, okay, we care about customer safety and people getting a quality product more than we care about money. And that's a good thing. Listen, we should always acknowledge when a company does indeed do a good thing, because we want to incentivize them to continue doing that behavior into the future. And they deserve a little bit of props for that. Now, There are some other issues with this product, and I cannot tell you exactly what they are at this point in time. I would like to actually do a little bit of investigative work. We do have a bit of a theory. There are some customers that have been experiencing some traumatic failures with this particular device, and it seems to be happening in a thematic manner. Now, this is a thing where some of these people have had issues dealing with future motion. So one of the things that myself and some other people have done is we actually are offering to buy those boards back so that we can try and figure out what went wrong with them and try and see if there is a particular design flaw. Because if those boards make their way back to future motion, they will never be seen again, and we will never really figure out what the root cause of the issue is. The problem that I'm finding here is if somebody has a warranty and they have the right to get their $2,000 or $3,000 device just replaced, they're likely going to do that rather than donate their board to science. So we have to make them an offer that makes sense there. And in these cases, we've actually asked some of these particular consumers if they would be open to sending their board for an autopsy if we pay them what they would have gotten via warranty, which is a replacement board. Now, this is a project that's probably going to cost me a few $1,000s up front, most likely tens of thousands of dollars over the next few months, but I do think that it is worth it so that this can continue to occur. These recalls are not going to happen unless we can actually point out with specific proof and evidence that there is a design flaw in these products. However, I genuinely believe that with some of the design flaws that I believe exist in these products at this point in time, that if somebody does not do this, that there is actually a chance for people to be seriously hurt into the future. So that is something that we are in the process of doing right now. This, again, a lot of people are not really in the position where they can just part with $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 just like that, just to potentially find out if something is wrong. But it's something that I'm blessed and lucky enough to be in a position to do, so that is something that we're doing. Now, one of the customers that had this particular experience is, I just thought I would read this particular letter here because I really do hope that this encourages the company to do better. Team Future Motion, you need an honest look in the mirror. Yes, you made something cool, but your quality on GTs is way out of control and a lot of people are getting hurt. And then when we reach out, your customer service is lackluster at best. This is not just my opinion. Your negative reputation precedes you online. The goodwill of your fan base is rapidly eroding, and while 90% love their boards, very few like or trust Future Motion as a company. The 10% of you're selling bad boards to are not a quiet minority. You've sold myself and many other people a dangerously defective, nearly $2,800 skateboard, and you won't even get on the phone or refund my order? You actively suppress third-party makers, work against right to repair, and barely stand behind your product even when it is under warranty. I'll keep the board. I got a better offer for it. Wonder where that came from. I would wish you some unpleasant or unhappy circumstance, but instead I'll just sit back and give karma a chance to play out. That sounds kind of frustrated on their part, but I understand. Here's to wishing you become a company as cool as the boards you make when they actually do work, I mean. So it is genuinely ended on a positive note. Again, the users of these products, in spite of being shit on and crapped on and feeling like garbage, at the end of the day, they still hope, just because they love the product that much and it is so unique and it is so able to give people a sense of freedom that frees them from their aggravations and their stresses and depression, they still hope the company does well just because they love the product that much. So I genuinely hope that this change of heart, this change of mind, this change of business model they have is something they continue into the future. And I also do hope to be able to be one of the people that does hold them to account when shit like this happens. Because again, this may look funny. Again, this may look funny, but this is not a joke. Shit like this is bad. And again, I'm not an engineer. I'm not a professional. I barely graduated high school. But something tells me when you design products like this, there is a serious risk of something happening to the user. And again, there are sadly considerably worse cases that could occur than just the thing accelerating off at 10 or 15 miles an hour and hitting somebody. And I really would like to autopsy as many of these units as humanly possible to try to figure out what that fault is. Because in my opinion, I just don't trust a company to do that unless there is some serious user backlash. But more importantly, specific evidence on how something is failing to the point that they can't ignore it. I'd like to be able to help hold them to account, and that is something that I am going to need the help of the community in order to be able to do. Thank you to the members of the community, the Onewheel community that reached out to me about all of these issues. Thank you to the members of the Onewheel community that were willing to, okay, I'm not going to say donate because I'm paying out the ass for it, but you get my point, to be able to allow me the opportunity to buy these devices back so that we can start trying to figure out what is going wrong with them. And I think this will go a long way towards this being changed in the future. With the way the patents are, Future Motion's probably going to be the only company making this thing for the next 10 to 15 years. But if they're going to be the only company making it, we're going to make sure they make it right. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. And above all, hopefully you're sleeping on a more comfortable setup tonight than I am. But I got to say, the little curvy neck pillow is actually not bad. Anyway, see you in the next video. Bye now.